People need is somebody that knows what's going on in the community.
The world.
That's going to be bigger than the internet.
And the known universe.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
It's the Upstate Pulse on 106.3 WORD.
Brought to you by Borderlands Comics and Games.
You're on the air.
Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. It is a beautiful Saturday night for January. Yeah, it's January. And was out in the 50s today. So, I mean, coming from where I came from, half a lifetime ago, because I've lived in South Carolina half my life, it's cold and snowy up there. It ain't that here, though. This is how winter should be, 50. I'm good with winter at 50. But now I'm sounding like that old man complaining about the weather. So let's get beyond that and talk about tonight. And tonight, we're going to have a wonderful show. Why? Because we always have a wonderful show. And if this is your first time tuning in, you're like, okay, what is this show? We don't know. I haven't figured that out in almost 8 years. I don't know what this show is, except for it's fun. It's not politics. It's not all the serious stuff. It's a bunch of goofball stuff that you click on during the week when you think your boss ain't looking. When it pops up and it's like, oh, what is that? And then sometimes you're sorry that you clicked on it because then things pop up that you weren't expecting, and then you're really glad your boss isn't watching. Never happened to me before, but I've heard tell that it happens to other people. So we talk about
maybe once or twice.
Yeah, every once in a while. We talk about comic books and streaming and superhero movies and artificial intelligence, which we're going to get to today, unfortunately. We have a double oops today. We have a double AI takeover today. We're going to talk some video games. We got Nerd Roundtable. We also have T2 back in the house.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
He is back after his last week not being here because he got the crud like the rest of us.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yes, it's not pleasant. If you could avoid it, you should do that. Also with us, show contributor Cameron.
Hi, how you doing?
And he always gets the grandest of stage, the dulcet tones of Matthew Causey.
Hey guys, what's up?
That was awesome, dude. That really was. That was great. You know what else you can do?
Actually kind of fit.
Yeah, you can be a part of the show.
It makes more sense now.
You can be a part of the show.
That was my real voice the whole time.
By texting us at 71307, or you can check us out live. Yes, we are live every week. First one in the building to do it. Other people have imitated, but we were first. And I'm going to always say that. You know why? Because I can say that because we were first. We are live on Facebook at 106.3 WORD, at the Upstate Pulse, and at Lonzo on Word. I wanted to give myself the
You got that slow burn cadence going.
It's just like, no, that's my name is so sexy, sometimes I have trouble saying it. We are also live on Twitter.
You got to savor that? You got to savor that name?
You guys,
Let's not make it that kind of show.
Live on Twitter at 106.3 WORD and Lonzo on Word. Also live on Twitch at the Upstate Pulse and live on YouTube at the Upstate Pulse and 106.3 WORD. That is the last time I say them all.
And don't forget about At the Pulse After Dark.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We ain't doing that.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not. All right, so.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, something we are doing, though. In a matter of weeks, South Carolina Comic-Con is back, baby. And they're announcing guests all the time. Tried to have Rob Young on this week, but he's busy. He's at cons every single week. But he is going to call in next week from Charlotte. And he's going to let us know about a very special thing that's coming up at Borderlands Comics and Games, which you can check out at 410 Pleasantburg Drive. And you should, because it's an awesome place. Just go in, hang out, buy some stuff, talk some nerdy stuff with everyone around, because everyone is into the stuff that you're into, and you'll have a blast. Also, I want to tell you that next week, and we're all, let's all cross our fingers. It means nothing, but cross your fingers. Cross your fingers, Tim.
Cross.
Okay.
I'm also crossing my legs for the extra crossing.
There we go. That's probably a good habit too. We are crossing our fingers because Radio D&D is scheduled to happen next week. So immediately following the Upstate Pulse next week, it's going to be Radio D&D, the first one of 2023, and the first one in Feels like 9 months. I know it hasn't been 9 months, but it sure does feel like it.
Been 2 months, I think.
It seems
Month and a half.
It
2
seems
months,
longer.
something
It
around
definitely
there.
seems longer. But that will be
It was
live.
in November.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like the end.
It
of
was way
November, I
back
think.
when.
Yeah, that will be live on most of these streaming channels. Not on Word because it might confuse some people, but it's going to be on a lot of people. A lot of our streaming services will let you know about that. Also, the OG Chris Evans will be back for that. Not sure if he'll be on the show or not, but he might be. He definitely will be on the Radio D&D broadcast. And Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show is supposed to make an appearance. He has to be here because he's DMing.
Wait,
so
the Rob Brown?
yeah, that guy.
It's kind of hard
That
to
guy.
play the game without him. Yeah.
Don't put a "the" in front of his name. Only one person can do that in this room, even though he's not in this room. But still, that would be me, the Alonzo. Mark says, "Hey guys, shout out to Kid Flaccid. Saw first 3 episodes of Vox Machina. Wow, that death was from a random, careless mistake, just like real life sometimes. Unfortunately, by the way, you can hit us up on stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And if you're doing it on the personal page, chances are I won't see it. So make sure you do it on 106.3 WRD or the Upstate Pulse, and it should show up where we can see it. And we will try to comment on it. And I will tell you, Mark, that later on, we are going to talk about the next 3 episodes. So during that time, we'll give you some warning because you don't. Yeah.
Also, always check for traps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never not check for traps.
Definitely in life and in gaming.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Check out that. All right. So the Royal Rumble is tonight at 8:00. And because of that, we're going to, in this first segment, talk some wrestling. I will tell you, it seems like, I think it might have been 20 years ago, I got to go to my only wrestling pay-per-view, and it is the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble, we're not going to pick it for Nerf Wall, so guys, don't worry about it because it's nearly impossible to do. Because, Tim, do you know what a Battle Royale is?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, tell me what you think it is. If you
Yeah, Battle Royale, like
if
from
you-
Dragon Ball?
No.
Dragon Ball Z?
No. We're talking about
When-
wrestling. We're talking about wrestling.
That's
So
what
in the-
I was
In the
thinking.
context of what we're talking about. All right, Matthew, do you know what it is?
You see, a battle royale is when you drop down at Twisted Towers and build up to pick some guns, and you fight until the last man stands. That's a battle royale.
Okay, that in a sense that could be. Okay, so in wrestling, a battle royale, which is what the Royal Rumble is, there are 2 separate ones, one for the women, one for the men, and there are 30 wrestlers come to the ring, and how you get someone out is you throw them over the top rope. And they come out at intervals of, I think it's every 5 minutes or so. And there's a countdown clock in the arena, which is really cool. You don't know who's coming out. A lot of times stars from the past will show up. People who have been injured and been out for 6 months suddenly show up. People you would never expect, like celebrities, will come out and be in the Royal Rumble. And it happens for the men and the women. And it's very exciting because we know wrestling is scripted. But when it comes to a battle royale, it's hard to pick not only who's going to win, but who's going to last. I mean, some of these guys are in there for like 35 or 40 minutes.
But is it every man for himself? Is that
Yes,
how that works?
it's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
All
It's
right.
supposed to be. Tag teams can be in there. They can help each other. You see heels teaming up with each other. You see baby faces teaming up with each other. All of them trying to I just look up and I see Shuri on the screen. That's how she should be, not what they did in part 2. It still makes me angry.
You also see Kofi chair surfing.
Yes, you do. And Kofi Kingston from the New Day always finds a way, an interesting way to get back into the ring. So if both feet touch the ground, you're out. Kofi will end up jumping on a wall and walk across the wall and then jump back into the ring and
He
stuff
also
like
did
that.
like a handstand at one point, if
He
I
did.
remember right.
So your hands could touch, but not your feet. So he does a bunch of cool stuff. Last year, he missed. He missed and his feet touched. And then he looked at the crowd and just threw his hands up like, you can't do anything. Once your feet touch, they can't figure out. So whatever he had planned, he was out. So
There's no retcon there.
it is a very fun premium live event to watch. The problem with it is it's still on Stinking Peacock. And on Stinking Peacock, even though you can now rewind to the beginning of it, since it starts at 8:00, if it ends, it's over. So you can't watch it again till the next day. And I've made the mistake the last couple of times since they moved these to Saturday night of rewinding back, and the show cuts off with 5 minutes left, and I have no idea what happened. And I don't want to go online and look at it because I want to actually watch it. So today when I go home, I'm just going in and starting wherever it is. and I'll go back and watch the rest the next day. So battle royales are fun, and that is what is happening. But there are also some other matches, and there are Vegas odds on who's going to win this thing. I would tell you for the men, it's probably going to be either Cody Rhodes or Sami Zayn. Cody Rhodes coming back from injury. Usually when someone comes back, they don't announce that they're coming back, but he's done a ton of vignettes, and he's coming back tonight at the Rumble. Mark says Brock Lesnar entered the Rumble. He's the favorite. One should also consider Omos, Lashley, Braun, Drew, and Sheamus as potential winners. Also look out for the Rey and Dominic confrontation. That's a good point. Omos is like 7 foot tall. Usually those guys fare well. Brock Lesnar usually takes out 5 to 10 guys on his own because he's a beast. So there's that. But look for Cody or Sammy to win. I think Cody is supposed to win. That's what everyone believes. That's what Vegas believes. I think Sami Zayn's going to win. As far as the women's Royal Rumble goes, a lot of money on Rhea Ripley to win. But I'm going to throw a dark horse out there and say Bayley wins. Because her entire...
I miss when she was a hugger.
Yeah, she used to be a hugger, and now she's a Karen. And but I think she wins with the help of her other girls. And we'll probably see a bunch of NXT people up there, and some there's rumor that The Rock may show up. There's rumor that John Cena may show up. There's rumors that Austin might show up, and we'll see. We'll see. All right, a couple other matches before we go to break, other than the Rumble matches themselves. There is a WWE Raw Women's Championship match between Bianca and Alexa Bliss. Alexa is diverting back to her Bray Wyatt persona a little bit. The upside down moth head keeps showing up, and she keeps going crazy. I think that's all the work. I think she's using it so she can go a little bit psycho. And don't be surprised if Alexa Bliss upsets Bianca Belair tonight. Speaking of Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight in a lights out match. We have no idea what that means. There's speculation that they may either wrestle in the dark, which doesn't make sense on a premium live event or any event, or they're going to be having blindfolds. We'll see. It will be interrupted. There will be some interesting stuff. It's going to be pretty cool. And then finally, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Is this the night when Sami Zayn turns and helps Roman Reigns lose to Kevin Owens? Most people are saying no. I'm going to go ahead and say Kevin Owens wins because I want to see it. I'm tired of the bloodline. Speaking of the bloodline, though, next Friday night, SmackDown is live at the Well right here in Greenville, South Carolina. Hope to see you guys there. If you do see me, come up and say hi. Don't expect long conversation because I'm overly shy and my mind goes blank. But I will say hi. We can take a picture, hang out a little bit, and watch some wrestling. And so if you are there Friday night, come and say hey. And you probably see Rob Brown and some other people from the station are there and about to round the thing.
You're more than likely hear Rob Brown.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'll hear him before you see him because he's can
I tell? All right. So last time we went, I just hear from across the well, Pappy. It's like there's only a man that loud who knows that name.
Yes, and he's extremely loud, but and he's proud, loud and proud. All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, it's time to talk a little bit of what. Let's go ahead and do Oops when we come back. We're going to come back and do Oops. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WRD, continuing live on YouTube, and Twitch, and Twitter, Facebook, and our text line, 713-07. He always does them backwards. Just turn your mic off first.
Great Fortnite reference.
Fortnite. That was 99% of my Fortnite knowledge.
So what's everybody doing tonight? We didn't text yet? I don't know who's reading the text.
We do, but it's about the bracket that we talked about during the week.
The bracket that we are doing or not doing?
Still talking about the cartoon one? What? I did.
Oh, you did?
I changed it last week. All right. Well, it is about video games. That's what I changed it to.
Yeah.
Well, I'll read it.
Okay.
So you already told people. Okay.
Yeah. You would know if you were here last week. But even if you were homesick, it's kind of your show too. You would think you would at least watched. I mean,
Sick and working on stuff for here, so.
Doing your job.
all right. Viper Dave 1125. Viper Dave 1125 on Twitch is talking about GoldenEye. We're going to be talking about that in the second hour because I downloaded and played it a bunch today too. Haven't played against anybody yet.
What game?
GoldenEye, which was a big game back in the day, and I was back in that day, and I never played.
I played a little.
What am I doing to make
Play
your
a little
job
bit.
harder? What?
Last of Us.
Do what?
Does anybody watch Last of Us?
No, you're the only one that's going to talk about it.
You said that. Like, am I doing something to make your job harder? What am I doing?
No.
Who said anything about
Oh,
that?
I thought you said you're not making it easier or something.
No, I said
Oh.
that I was at home. I was sick, but I was working on stuff to make my job easier.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Oh,
You know what
okay.
you
I
could have
only heard
did?
half
You
of
could have
that.
tuned into the show that
And
you're
you
actually
just
on.
assumed
That's all I'm
that it was
saying.
about you and
That's all I'm
negative.
saying.
Actually working on some
Well,
stuff.
because all I heard was make my job easier. And normally when I hear that, especially when he's looking right at me with that face like that, I'm like, oh God, what am I doing?
How
did
are
I
you
do?
ever a detriment to
Do I-
Tim?
Wait, did I say anything mean to you before?
No,
You're just giving
all
him
I
that
heard-
look. You're
all-
just
yeah,
giving
you
him
had,
that
By the
you
look.
way-
had your resting bitch face going on when you said that, and all I heard was the second part where you said making my job.
Yeah, you
easier.
can. You
So I
can.
thought you said.
Hey, calm yourself down, mister.
So people were talking, so I had to level
Yeah,
up.
let's talk about
So
the
it's
word.
RBF.
Let's talk
Vernacular,
Talk about the
no.
word, not the DBs.
Oh, what did I say?
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's RBF.
Oh yeah.
Little too loose.
By the way, we are online and we're allowed to say,
Oh no, yeah. I know that online is
but
fine,
but
like,
but
yeah,
also
on air.
remember where we are.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So how this works, we've got like 7 stations in our building. There are some things that can be said on a station down the hall that cannot be said here.
Yeah.
And I don't think you could put 2 stations together and go, yeah, you could say that on both. Maybe the Planet and Classic Rock 101 possibly, but still.
I got oops coming back.
Good. Thank you.
I paid attention this time.
The other things, you weren't inaccurate because I've gotten that face too.
Oh yeah.
Everybody has that face.
Look, there's Sherry having
I
fun
have it all
again.
the time.
It ruined Sherry, man. I'm still mad about it. I get that death.
She'll be
Can-
happy next time.
No, she won't. No,
She got her catharsis.
Yeah, we'll
Right.
see.
5 seconds.
All right. When you hear the goofy scream at the end, you know we are talking about a criminal or something to do with criminality of some sort of thing. Usually something really stupid. I would tell you, we normally don't talk about death during this thing because I don't like to do that. I don't want to make light of a death, but some deaths you can't help it. And so I kind of feel bad about it, but we're going to talk about it. So I'm going to ask everybody. By the way, we're going to get to your messages on stream and on text, by the way, text line 71307. We're also live on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll get to you guys in just a second at the end of this segment. But you guys want to talk about a death or a lawsuit first? Which one do you want to go with first? Tim?
Lawsuit. Death is too bleak.
All right, Matthew. I already knew.
I say we get the death out
I was
of the
going to say,
way.
I knew where Matthew was going. All right.
Death.
Okay, so let's go with the death first. We are a representative republic here, and no, actually, we're it's a theocracy, right? When there's a king in the room.
No, that's religious.
No. Theocracy is religion. You're right. Well, what is it? It's
Monarchy.
You're
monarchy.
thinking of an
Monarchy.
autocracy or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
We
That
all
was-
get that you see yourself as
There's
a king.
there's some sort of crusy in here, and I'm over it. All right, so A British man is dead after he was crushed by Tim. What was he crushed by?
A statue
Matthew. What was he crushed by?
of the queen.
You got to keep in mind, it's probably going to be something funny.
I'm gonna guess a random boulder in the middle of a city. I don't know.
How very Bugs Bunny of you. All right, Cameron.
A piano.
I'm gonna change mine to an anvil.
Okay, there we go.
We're gonna cover that area.
The boot of a queen's guard. How about that?
Oh wow. The incident happened Tuesday afternoon in London's Cambridge Circus section, where the man was working on a telescopic urinal.
What?
Which sits underground during the day and pops up for people to use at night. All right, so I have questions about this.
I
right,
have
a
several
telescopic
questions.
A telescopic
urinal.
So it's
Notably, why?
so it's a urinal that's underground during the day, but at night it just pops up for people to use.
It's a nocturnal urinal.
It's a vampire one.
Yeah, I don't. They don't say that it's enclosed or anything. It just pops up. So like does a urinal just pop up in the middle of the street? I don't know.
Yeah, like
it
that's
doesn't say in
strange.
the
That
article.
would really scare the crap out of people.
That would be something.
It's very very weird.
It's
like,
urinal
man,
o'clock
dude,
when the urinals
Dude,
rise.
I gotta go. What time is it? It's almost 9. I gotta do this all in a minute. There it is. There's a urinal. Go get it. And then there's a mad dash from everybody trying to get to the urinal first.
Yeah, I could. That would be funny.
As
That
if
would be
people
would
drunk enough to pee outside
That would
are
be
looking
video
for a
worthy.
urinal. They're not looking for a urinal. That's not how
They
that
just need a
works.
That
nice
is a
secluded
very
corner.
unique cyberpunk dystopia right there.
It is, isn't it? Isn't it? So, as he was working below street level, the device malfunctioned and pinned him underground, leaving him seriously injured, according to rescue workers.
Oh.
So dude was under the ground working on the telescopic urinal, and it malfunctioned and started to raise up, and he got pinned in between the ground and the raising up of the urinal,
Ooh.
and he died.
That sounds awful, man.
What a way to go, gosh.
So my question for the text line
Kinda
and for the
reminds me of pig
stream,
toilets.
my question for the text line and the stream, if your loved one died by being pinned by a urinal, what would you put on their tombstone?
Nothing related to that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I would hope.
So text us or hit us up on the stream and let us know.
Dad, be careful.
By the way, selective reading means you can go, yeah, that's funny, but I'm not saying that on the air.
No. I'm just saying don't get crushed by a urinal.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because
Well,
I will
thank you.
definitely put something on your
I
tombstone for
guarantee
that.
you, I'm not working on a urinal that's underground.
Text,
I'm not doing that.
Texter writes the nocturnal urinal.
The nocturnal urinal.
The nocturnal. Yeah.
Yeah,
dang it.
I was trying to
That's
come
what
up
I
with
had.
something too, and I can't.
Yeah.
I can't find the right
Nocturnal urinal. And that was more Italian than it was Transylvanian, but
nocturnal.
I was trying.
Buongiorno.
Yes, I was trying. It definitely wasn't British. All right.
Grazie.
All right, let's do another oops before we move on to our next segment. The next one involves gravy. Young gravy. Yeah. So only one
A rapper?
Okay. Probably 2 people in this room know who Young Gravy
Here's
is.
the thing: all rappers now have to have the prefix of young.
Okay, so you don't know Young Gravy. You just
I
figured it was
understand the rap culture.
that was very very deductive of you. See, like that. I can't say that on the air.
It's still funny though.
It was funny though. All right. Thank you, Viper Dave 1125 on Twitch. So Tim, familiar with the Young Gravy?
No.
Okay. Well, you used to be a DJ, man. I don't know.
Could you say
I don't
that-
know what time when you got out the game. When did you get out the game?
2019,
Doing your hands
2020?
like that.
Okay. Doing my hands like what?
Nothing. Never mind. I was doing that for the sake of the radio listeners. And now he's Thriller.
Yes. Now I did a Thriller just to prove. So Young Gravy, he did something that you shouldn't do. He's going up against Rick Astley. You do not want to go up against Rick Astley. So what he did,
He's never going to give up.
His name is
He's
really
never gonna-
Young Gravy.
yes, that's his name.
Oh
He's
my
being
God.
I figured
sued.
he'd be feuding with Young Mashed Potatoes.
No, he's being sued by Rick Astley for Betty Good Money. That's the name of the song, Betty Good Money. So Young Grady, not Young Grady. That's a totally different guy. Young Gravy is getting a legal Rick rolling from the man himself. Whoever wrote the article is so excited about that line. You know, they're like, yeah, I
Finally had to make all these puns.
I've been waiting all this time. Rick Astley is suing the up-and-coming rapper for allegedly ripping off the singer's voice from his most popular hit. Astley filed legal docs Thursday in L.A., claiming Gravy's hugely popular Betty, Get Money, uses an impersonated version of his own voice from 1987's Never Gonna Give You Up. In the docs obtained by TMZ, because they're the best reporting on earth, Ashley, they are. Don't laugh about it, man. Those guys break news before anybody else.
We are in the darkest time.
Yeah, we
so
are.
Of course, that's true.
They are reputable. That's what the state of the world is right now. TMZ is a reputable source. I will not have you poo-poo TMZ.
I didn't say anything.
Okay,
It was
all right.
just, it was a funny statement.
All right. Let's see. TMZ, Ashley says Gravy and his producers, including Dylan Francis, who apparently is someone famous, conspired to include a deliberate and nearly indistinguishable imitation of Mr. Ashley's voice throughout the song. He's also suing Nick Seeley, a.k.a. Pop Nick, who is the guy who did the impersonation. So what they did, they bought the rights to the music so they could sample the music, but they didn't buy the rights to the vocals. So instead of actually getting Rick to come on and sing, they got an impersonator to pretend to be Rick on the song, which the song went gold. So
I'm not actually sure about the legality of that. That might be okay. I wouldn't be surprised if it's okay, but I could also understand it not being. So
yeah, I don't think
it depends on how they rule on parody in that case.
Apparently, he said a couple times that he could probably get in trouble for this in interviews.
Oh, okay.
So what is that? What is that? That is saying that you know what you're doing is wrong, and in the court of law.
Or you possibly know what you're doing.
In a court of law, if
you're probably in trouble.
Copyright law and trademark law, all that stuff's really hard to understand sometimes. So
yeah,
I will say that
there's a lot of finicky nuance to it. It's
really fickle.
Yeah,
I'm just guessing that Rick's got more money, so Rick's going to win.
I would be surprised if he doesn't.
I think that the real oops is in this guy's name. I mean, rapper names are starting to get really stupid.
Young Gravy?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like Gravy? You like Gravy?
I mean, I love Gravy.
This is Matthew.
I actually don't mind
Matthews.
I don't mind the name. I think it's funny.
I just think they're all
Matthew's
getting stupid now.
Pickiest eater in this room. How do you feel about Gravy?
Oh, I love Gravy.
There we go.
You like brown gravy or Sawmill?
Well, compared to some of us, yes, you are. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get to your texts.
Some of us are just foodies.
And your stream. I'm talking about size,
He just
Matthew,
called me fat.
Okay? I'm talking about size, all right? All right? Some of us are a little heavier than others. I'm sorry I had to spell it out, okay?
It's just my metabolism.
You just called me fat.
Yeah, well,
I've got a healthy metabolism.
You have the best. You are the best. Let's go to break. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD.
There's a couple things that I can't eat, but otherwise,
right, which makes you a picky eater. It wasn't a crack.
I don't know if that's fair.
What?
Saying he's a picky eater because he can't eat things.
Yes, it is fair.
But typically, picky eaters are doing it on their own choice.
No. He could choose to eat those things anyway. There are things that will happen if he does do it.
I mean, he could choose to do something and die.
Which means he goes, I'm staying away from that. I'm going with something else, which makes you a picky eater.
That's
no. I don't really want to go to the hospital, so I don't think I'm going to eat them.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't take it as a crack. Should I say the most refined? All right. Matthew, you're the skinniest guy in the room. Do you like gravy? Is that what you guys want me to say? Would that have been better? What's the matter with you people?
Oh my goodness. Can I read that? I'm not sure if I can read that or not.
What, any of the things on the stream at the moment?
Yeah,
he's talking about that.
Or a text line.
Yeah, you could rename that and go with P.
That's okay. That's what I was gonna do.
I'm okay with P.
On the spot, but
I'm okay with P. You could also say urine if you want.
Are you subbing it for a different P word?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Which, by the way, you can say, but I don't want you to say it. So
That's why
I would rather you didn't, because I've heard that word used from probably every host on the station.
Yeah, I had to.
I just would rather not.
That's the word in the Venn
No,
diagram.
It's our show, but I still have control over
Our show, comrade.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
Thank you, Viper.
you are the Upstate Pulse Stalin,
Been
Dad.
playing Skyrim for what, 11 years now? I think it's 11 years. The 11th anniversary just happened. Look it
The
up.
11th come out.
Look it up. I mean, just
I
to be
think he's right.
accurate.
No, because it came out in 20. No, it came out in 20.
Just to be accurate, look it up.
It came out in 2012, didn't it? It was
I
either
think- no, it's
2012 or
2011.
2011.
Pretty sure the 11th
Yeah,
anniversary
so
just
it's
happened.
11 years old now, or 12 years old. Sorry, or 11 years old. Sorry,
Thank you.
no, 11 years old as of this past November.
I told you I thought recently I saw the yeah. So was actually playing a bunch of Skyrim today. And Matthew and I still play it a bunch. He plays on computer, I play on Xbox, and heavily modded.
Yup. The guy finally updated dynamic animation replacer so I can have all of my animation and combat mods again.
Cool.
Unfortunately, I've been playing for like a month and a half without it. So I've kind of burnt out on Skyrim for a while. So give it a couple months and I'll come back and do it
You
again.
know, I would
But-
say that you're kind of picky, but I've already been, yelled at about that. So, I mean, you're peculiar, you're particular. That's it.
Hey, at least my mod list isn't a harem mod list.
Whatever.
He has a very good point on that.
Second time.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo, T2, Matthew, Cameron, having a blast on Saturday night. If you want to be a part of the show, text line is 71307 or hit us up on social media where a lot of people are doing that right now. You can check us out on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We have some texts. By the way, Tim is not wearing his glasses today, so please send some texts. Make them really long so they break up
Misspell a few
and
things.
misspell some words.
I'm actually kind of used to this now. All right.
Challenge him. I think he just
requested a challenge.
Yeah, I think he just said you guys can't do it to him.
He
That's
said,
what I
bring
heard.
it. So bring it,
Yeah.
people.
Want some, come get some. That's what he said.
all right.
Square up, y'all.
Text writes, evening guys. Since my list of animated suggestions last week was derailed, I offered this list for the video game bracket. We got Sid Meier Civilization, The Sims,
Ooh, Civ.
Hearts of Iron, Master of Orion, XCOM, Kerbal Space Program, Minecraft, and that was from Scott.
All right, Scott.
Let's go, Scott.
And,
With
I like Scott's
The reason
list.
why Scott is
Yeah.
bringing this up is because our bracket is we're going to have 64. If I can get it to 64, we may have some. We may have some play-in games. We don't know, but we're going to do the Upstate Pulse's video game bracket. We do brackets every year. We've done superheroes. We've done action movies, sitcoms, ton of other things. All right, 7 other things, which I don't have the list in front of me, but we did a bunch. But we've never done video games. So we'll be putting that together. Probably the last week in February will be when we start the bracket. And when we do that, we will talk about each matchup. The 4 of us will vote on it. And then if it's a tie, it will go to the text line. And whoever texts the winner first, that's what goes through. It is the most hated method of anything in this entire building.
Wait.
And I take great
so
pride in
when it goes to
that.
the text line, it's whoever texts first, not
Yes.
not the group majority.
No, it's whoever texts first.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
That's-
You.
I thought
I
you
feel
did it
like
with us
out of-
last year, didn't you?
I feel like out of everybody that we've ever had on the show, Matthew's going to have the most issue with this.
No. Rob Brown hates it. I mean, to the point.
No,
Rob Brown
I
will
mean,
bring
I
it up
kind
out
of
of
hate that as
nowhere.
well.
Rob Brown also wants to be on the show.
I'm not a big fan of it either.
Yeah.
I hate it.
You know what? That's the thing. This is one
I
of
do
the,
remember him losing his mind during the auction.
this is one of the few things that I've ever put together where universally people are united against me. And that's fine. That's fine. I think it is the most fair because what it comes down to is we love when people text the show at
you texted in
71307.
first. You were the fastest. Yeah,
Right.
that's more fair than the group majority.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
of
how
course.
Handsome Jack won, man.
Yeah. I don't care that you hate it. I've had many
He doesn't
people
care.
I've had many people ask me to change it, and I'm not going to because it has nothing to do with being contrarian. It just has to do with being right. And only one
Well,
person
if it
can be
was
right
to
this
do
time.
with being right, then you would do it the way that we are saying you should do it.
Hey, here's the thing. Make sure there's no tie, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's a whole system to this.
So,
I don't know if you're
here's
quite
a-
ready for
I
this.
learned
Oh,
I learned
dear,
the
I'm
system
not-
as I
don't
played
think I'm
last
good.
year.
I have prepared as much as I can. I still don't think I'm going to be ready. I don't think I'm going to be ready.
You're not
Well,
going to be.
Here's the thing. So Matthew, I believe, is the biggest Nintendo fan in the room.
Probably.
So when some Nintendo games go down, he's not going to react very happily. I'm just going to put it that
You shall
way.
not have very favorable
Yes,
reactions.
he should not. We
I
have
might
more.
be a little bit of a Nintendo fan.
We have more texts.
Yeah, so this next text is in reference to the oops we did about the telescopic urinals.
What should be on the tombstone for the dude who died by urinal?
All right, Texter writes, rest in P, but the actual word.
It's okay.
Just leave it there.
Well, it's not an actual word, by the way. I don't believe that is the. I believe urinate is the actual word.
Oh, well, of course
Now,
it is.
The word that you're talking about is another slang word that begins with P.
But yes, the slang word that begins with P, which I thought was pretty funny when it first came in.
Yeah, because you're envisioning it on the headstone. And the thing is, by the way, the headstone has to be shaped in a urinal. It just does.
It does.
I mean, it absolutely does.
I feel like the fact that you died being crushed by a urinal is the last thing you want to be remembered by. I don't think I would do anything related to that on a tombstone of a loved one.
Well, by the way,
What if you really just
You-
hated them?
Well, if I
no,
hated
no,
them,
no,
maybe.
if you're someone like me who thinks that, to quote Jimi Hendrix, who was quoting Bob Dylan, life is but a joke. It's all right. You guys can think about it. Someone will get that.
That's
I
terrible.
would be okay if I'm gonna decree this on the air right now. If I should die by urinal, please make my headstone look like a urinal.
You see,
I'm
you're
okay
only
with
saying
that.
that because you know there's no way that that's going to happen.
Because I wouldn't let it happen.
No,
But-
I am asking you to make it happen.
Oh,
I'm not.
I'm
Gonna,
denying your
yeah,
request.
that is some criminal asking.
no, it's not. No, it's not.
Please make sure that I die by urinal.
No.
If I die by urinal,
I said
it's
if
not-
I die. I don't want to die by urinal.
okay.
Come on, dude. No,
Gosh.
I don't want
It's-
to die. Period. I
I
want to be translated.
misinterpreted
It's not
that.
going to happen, but that's what I want.
Oh,
Any more
gosh.
texts?
You
Yeah.
never get the easy way out.
Texter writes, y'all stop talking about Grady. He's my favorite character on Sanford and Son.
At least you got the reference. I know how big our demographic is, so it goes from like
Is it?
it's like from 16 to 90.
That's from the show. Is like Elizabeth. This is a big one.
Yes, not a good
I
Fred
don't.
Sanford, but it doesn't matter.
I don't remember how he sounds.
It doesn't matter. All right, let's go to the stream really quick. Jay says on his gravestone, he died trying to save man from getting Euromesis.
What?
I'm saying Mises. It's Mises. Mises thesis. I can't say it.
Mises?
He says it's a Seinfeld reference.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Let's also see. Let me go back up here a little bit. Mark says, crushed by a urinal, going, gone. You know, as in the Viper says he lived as he died. I'm not saying the rest. But I don't think that applies because it's a urinal. It's not a toilet. So anyway, also Viper on Twitch says, love the Skyrim shirt. Thank you. Been playing Skyrim a bunch. We just had a heated argument about mods. Everything is a heated argument between Matthew and I for some reason. At least today. And
It's
it
the
shouldn't be.
force of order versus the force of chaos. I'll let you guys decide which is which.
Yes. One of us is order. One of us is chaos.
When an immovable object.
I've been watching way too much Young
meets an
Justice. And
unstoppable
Dad, you definitely
force.
need a cat.
Okay. You know what I need right now, though?
What do you need?
I need to take a break. I do. I need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to let Tim tell us about the first episode of Last of Us.
Okay.
You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. 2 more seconds and I would have noobed you.
You were so close to a Newman.
I fixed it.
We almost had him.
Only a few weeks till Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
It comes out
17th February.
17th?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I thought it came out in early March.
Nope. It comes out in February, and we're going to see all the rumors out there, which I'm trying not to see too much, are saying someone's going to die.
Oh, I haven't heard anything about
You know
it.
who's going to die? Kang, probably. There's like a ton of Kang variants. So if he dies, he dies. There'll be another one somewhere else.
Kang dying means literally nothing.
Yes. So
'Cause there's
that's,
just an
that's my
infinitesimal
prediction.
amount of him.
Kang dies.
You know,
Although Hank dying could be a thing.
Yeah.
I could see that being the case.
Hank or Janet.
Or
They don't
both
have
of them.
a huge
A
spot.
lot of
in
people are trying to
the
say that
MCU at
Scott's
this
going to
point.
die, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I
They
don't.
wouldn't kill him off.
Because he has contracts for more movies, I think, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Exactly.
But one thing they could do is they could kill off his daughter. And that's
that
the
would
only
be
way.
rough.
And that's the only way that he'll agree to work with Kang. If Kang can promise to turn back time in some way, we can go back and be with
That-
Cassie as she's growing up.
That would be actually kind of interesting.
Think that's the premise. It seems like it anyway.
No, I haven't.
We already know you can time travel, through the quantum realm. So
The only thing I've really seen with it is the trailers, and even those I haven't actually watched. I've just heard them on my second monitor while I'm doing something else, and they've popped up on like a YouTube video or a Twitch stream or something.
the trailers are pretty good. It doesn't look like it's going to be as funny as the other ones have been.
Which I'm kind of okay with. I'm kind of tired of some of the MCU humor to a degree.
No Luis, man. No, actually Luis is in it. It's the one dude.
There's going to be
One of
another
the
Luis.
three
Polka dot
guys.
man.
One of the
That's-
3 guys. Huh?
Polka dot man.
Yeah, the white dude. Yeah, he's not in it. I don't know if the other guy's in it. Too. I know Luis is in it. At least I heard about it.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him in any of the trailers though.
He's
So-
going to have another one of those scenes. That's like the thing that people
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
the movies from. So they kind of are obligated at this point. And they're fun.
Unless people die, and then it's very serious.
What if
and
Luis
they won't do
dies?
it. No, you can't kill Luis.
I don't want it
We
to
should
happen.
kill Luis, and then we should have him recap his death.
Oh,
Well, he's in heaven recapping what happened. I mean, you I guess you could get away with that.
I was going to try and do a thing with it, but I don't think I can mimic it at all.
no, you'd
Uh-uh.
have to script that out to
Yeah,
be able
exactly.
to. You can never do that. Anybody who can do that off the cuff is amazing.
Yeah.
It's not a skill I
can't
possess.
see myself doing that.
By the way, to answer you, Lisa, I hope he never remembers his glasses because it's a thing now.
For the bit.
But is it a work? Can he actually see?
For the vine.
Can he actually see, but he pretends like he can't see? Because everything's a work.
What about birds?
It's a wrestling term. What?
What about birds? Are birds a work?
No, birds aren't real.
Wait, but doesn't that make the
I guess technically. Help! I'm tangled up in my cord. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. I love just scaring everybody half to death because no one was expecting me to do it. And you should expect me to do it.
They couldn't hear that on the
phase me at
stream.
all.
Yeah.
Matthew, what bothered you about that?
Everything. What
Okay.
didn't bother me
Okay.
about that?
All right. Well, it goes with the theme of the evening. Speaking of themes, all right. If you have not watched The Last of Us, like me and Cameron and Matthew,
Yes.
then you're about to get spoiled because T2 is going to, and he begged and pleaded with me the other day to watch
Wait, you're
it.
going to spoil me, but I was never going to watch the show.
Yeah, that's really why I don't care. I tried, man. I tried to set aside time, and it's like, okay, I'm here. I'm eating my supper. I can watch Last of Us, or I can watch 2 more episodes of One Piece. And I kind of went with One Piece. So,
I understand. I've been there. I get it.
all right. So tell us about Last of Us. Convince the people out there who haven't seen it to watch it,
Okay.
including me
So,
and Matthew.
The
and
Last
Cameron.
of Us. The Last of Us is actually based off of a video game. It's made by Naughty Dog. And it's a post-apocalyptic world where and the most common misconception about this show and the story is that they're zombies, and they're not zombies. So basically this fungus kind of takes over and hosts human beings, and long story short, the fungus kind of overgrows and takes over your consciousness and makes you hallucinate, and you pretty much go crazy, and the fungus starts to grow through you, if that makes any sense.
Oh, wait, are there pretty flowers when it grows through you?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
In the game, actually, and it's funny that you asked that. In the game, there's actual like spores that if you breathe them in, it could make you sick and turn into the infected. We'll just call them that in this case.
This has happened in a lot of things, including comic books. Superman has had this happen to him. A bunch of different comic book characters have had it. So it's not original from that point of view, but it's still so I understand it. It's what I mean.
Right. But they actually omitted that in the show, that whole idea of the spores. And what they did and if anybody out there ever studied like psychedelics and stuff, there's
not firsthand, of course.
Well, no, like
no one out there would be like taking.
Well, some people do. No, I mean like some people study it though. Some people are interested in it.
Yes, because definitely our audience is more the scientific kind.
Well, I mean, if you are that person, it's kind of the same thing where like when you start to hallucinate and stuff, you see these visions and stuff like that. It kind of just takes over your mind, and they took the collective consciousness idea, and now every time like you step on like a let's say like a fungus piece, I guess you could say,
a root,
it could wake up the entire horde of infected, and they all know where you are, which I actually think is a pretty cool change.
I think that probably makes it more dangerous than it was in the game.
Yeah, way more dangerous. It actually happens. There's a lot of little differences from the game to the show, which I think really translated well for the people that played the game and for people that may want to watch the show. There's a bunch of added scenes, and in fact, my favorite addition to this is when Ellie wakes up in the house and the world's just crashing around them and everything, and they get in the truck and stuff, and they're pretty much just driving through town, and in the game she gets hit by a car, but in the show they did a plane crash, and the plane crash looked awesome. I mean, it was amazing to really see that, and they've stuck to the story really well. I love the guy that plays Joel. I think it's the guy that did Mandalorian.
Yep, Pedro Pascal.
And Ellie, who played in Game of Thrones, is on there. She, the whole story is just kind of based around her. So basically, she gets infected, or she gets bit by one, but she doesn't get infected.
All right, so I was going to ask you how, other than if they're not doing the spore thing, how it's transmitted between humans. So it's by bite, which makes it seem
is by bite.
Seem more zombie-like.
It is more zombie-like in this.
Extra steps.
Yeah, it is more zombie-like in this. And another thing that they did, which I thought they could have maybe, and I understand why they didn't. They wanted to tone down maybe like the brutality of the world that Joel kind of lives in after his daughter dies and everything. Is what they were doing was they have this little device, and if you come in from the outside and you don't look sick, they'll test you. So like it's a little pinprick in the back of your neck, and if you're green, you're not sick. If you're red, you're sick. Well, there's this little kid, very beginning, stumbles into the quarantine zone. He gets stuck in the neck, and she's just kind of like, oh, well, what we're going to do is we're going to give you some medicine, and we're going to let you play with some toys and give you the best food you've ever had in your life, and kind of made it like this thing, but it was actually a lethal injection.
Last meal. God.
It was a lethal. It's a
That's
lethal
dark.
injection. Now in the game, as you're walking through the town, you just kind of see it like Fedra, the people, the government, pretty much. Fedra just kind of lines people up outside. They stick one with the lethal injection, and I don't know if you've ever heard stories about people having bad reactions to the lethal injection. Well, this person did, and he starts like seizing and all kinds of stuff. The other guy's like, "Oh no, screw this!" and he tries to get up and run, and they just shoot him. So I mean, like the brutality in the game is a little bit more, there rather than in the show. But that's the only thing that I didn't like. But
Both kind of sound like that. Like it sucks a little bit.
well, yeah, I mean it's post-apocalyptic. I mean survival. You're in survival mode.
You are piquing my interest. You definitely are. And how many episodes have you watched?
2.
There's only been 2 out, right?
Yeah, and my favorite thing is there's these creatures in there. They call them clickers. So when you've been exposed to the virus, the fungus for so long, like I said, it starts to grow through you. Well, it starts growing through their head, and it takes over their eyes. But the fungus kind of adapts you because it needs you to survive for it to survive. So it adapts you. So like they kind of see like bats and they click. And in the game, that they're there because it's this really distinct clicking sound. And how they
using their teeth or their tongues.
I'm not sure how they do it, but the introduction of them into the show was flawless because they didn't change anything about them from the game to the show. And I mean, even down to the point of the way they move, the way they sound, how they interact when you throw a bottle or something. Perfect. It's awesome. It's really, really good.
All right. So again, you are telling me we're talking about The Last of Us, the TV series or the streaming series on HBO Max, I believe. And
yes,
first 2 episodes are out. They come out on Sundays at what time? Is there a certain time
9 o'clock?
9 o'clock on Sunday nights. If you want to check it out, and Tim obviously is telling you should check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out if you like that kind of stuff. If you like Walking Dead or anything like that, it's right around the same, or if not better.
All right. We are just about done with this hour. In the next hour, we are going to be doing an AI takeover. We've got some Wall of Weird. We're going to talk video games, including GoldenEye, and some Nerd Roundtable topics, including an argument that Cameron and I had yesterday. And yes, it made it onto the list. So make sure you stay tuned for that. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WRD, continuing live on Facebook and Twitch and Twitter and YouTube. And if you want to be a part of the show, text line is 71307. See, now he's hesitating before he turns it off. He just puts his hand on it because he knows we can't say anything until he turns it off. We will also talk some Bad Batch and some Vox Machina. How many episodes are we in on
Who all is it? Fives, maybe? Is that who it is?
No, Fives didn't make it.
Yeah, I thought he died.
Echo is on there. He's the only reg in there.
Wrong one.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. You made it through an entire hour. Was to me. It was to everyone watching as you start panicking and start. If you're watching on stream for the first time, when the show originated, it was all producers doing the show. And because of that, if you're on the other side producing the show, even though you're our co-host, you can't make mistakes. If you do, everyone in the room would come down hard on you. And I'm nice.
He was very nice.
I'm nice compared to Chris and Patrick and Zach, some of the original guys from the show. They will come at you hard when you mess up, to the point where it gets in your head to where you try not to mess up, which, you know what, you should try not to mess up, because that's the whole thing is not messing up. But it definitely made a fun game out of it. And by the way, as the guys who are in the room right now can attest, when I'm over there producing, if I mess up, I noob myself.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Did it last week.
Yep.
Unfortunately. Because we do expect perfection out of everyone.
Of course.
I do get that we can't all be like me, though.
From The Last of Us, the fact that they're not dead, that they're not zombies, means they're not dead.
Yeah, but they're not human anymore either.
I think they'd be more qualified to be mutants than anything else.
Well, from what you've said, they've been taken over by a host, and if the host is taken over to a certain degree, then
I thought it was an interesting aspect, just because in Walking Dead, people are dead, and there's like a whole episode proving that. Like Shane walks up and pops like 5 rounds in the zombie's chest, and he's like, "That's his lung, that's his heart. It should be dead. Like I just popped 5 rounds into him." And people were like, "No, they're sick. No, they're dead." Like there was this big balance scale between people's psyche on it. So like the fact that these people are still alive,
but they're not. I mean, I'll have to watch.
Well, in the very beginning, they
well, Dad, are you talking about alive as in like their individuality? And that was a
well, technically they become part of Hive to a degree.
Their consciousness is still alive.
Really?
From what I understand, yeah.
Are they still them within?
No, the thing pops out of their head.
But I mean, like
So the ultimate is you become a clicker no matter what. If you don't die, right?
Comes from fungus, right? So like that's what they say at the very beginning. It's like when the fungus takes over a host, it becomes part of the fungus. So from what I understand, when he was talking about this at the very beginning, that people are still alive as part of.
Well, I think we're talking about two separate things. We're talking about one side's talking about body, the other side's talking about mind.
Right.
So if the mind's gone, is that really them anymore? Yeah. So I mean, if
the mind's gone, they're brain dead, which means they're no longer them. They're just a part
host.
of. Yeah.
That's what he's getting at.
Yes.
Right.
And I tend to agree.
I mean, yeah, a fungus is alive. So from that aspect, yes, but the person they were is gone. Is there any coming back from it?
No. There's no cure.
Then they're dead.
I don't know, man. It's an interesting question because that's what I've been.
In the
wanting to ask
important way,
everybody.
in the important way, they're dead.
Yeah, like I mean.
Because
they're
I
not the
mean,
same as
sure, their
the-
body's alive, but they're not them anymore.
Correct.
Ain't that right, Matthew? He's really in there.
He's intense. That man over there is watching Pocket Monsters.
Y'all do watch it. Let me know what you think. That's something I've been thinking about all week.
Hour number 2 coming up now.
Access to the world's top diamond mines. We have our own diamond cutters too, so we are active in every aspect.
Everyone's being quiet. It's weird.
I'll say things.
Man,
I'll break the silence.
I'll say some things.
Talking
about stuff, topics, and things.
That was beautiful, by the way.
It was reading. About how to fix that mole in that
We don't need your countdown. Welcome into hour number 2 of the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo, T2, Matthew, and Cameron here on a Saturday night. We want to hear from you. Text line 71307. Tim has forgotten his glasses again, so make sure you send a very long text with misspelled words. Like some of the words just don't even put vowels in
Yeah,
there.
go ahead. I ain't scared.
Yeah, just pretend like you're spelling out Krzyzewski and
Try to have like
Yeah.
some 3, 4, possibly 5 syllable words.
yeah, and use like umlauts or whatever those things are.
Umlauts.
Yeah, that's what I said. Use those.
You did say that.
Yeah,
totally.
I did. Don't you correct me.
I'm not.
Anyway, so use some of those for Tim. And also we're live on Facebook and Twitch and Twitter and YouTube at either 1063 WRD, the Upstate Pulse, or Lonzo and Word. So there you go. Try one of those. You're going to find us, and you're going to find us live. And also, if you're doing it on my personal stuff, chances are I'm not going to see it on the StreamYard thingy that we got going on here. So if you want to comment and want me to see it, put it on either 1063 WRD or the Upstate Pulse. All right, we got a lot of things to get to this hour, including a review of Vox Machina and Bad Batch. We also are going to do some AI takeover. We're going to talk some video games. But I want to remind you, speaking of games, to check out Borderlands Comics and Games at their new location, 410 South Pleasant Brook Drive. You need to go, especially if you went to the old store and you're like, I wonder what the new store is like. It's 4 times the size as the old store.
4 times.
Okay, we're going to go with 4. It could be 5. I don't know. It's big. It's really, really big. It's absolutely big. And Rob Young from Borderlands Comics and Games and South Carolina Comic-Con, which is coming up in April, is going to be on the show via phone next week because he's in cons like every single weekend because it's con season. And he's going to call us from Charlotte. Also next week, we are doing Radio D&D, which means we will have a Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show, Chris Evans, who was one of the original Upstate Pulsers, and we will be doing live D&D after the show. So check that out next week. All we've already had fun talking about some other things. There's before we get to AI takeover, that's a hint. Before we get to AI takeover, and you also owe me something. I got another story that I want to get to, but I will wait for the thing that you owe me before I get into the story. Okay, there we go. Get that out of the way. All right, you guys know what a cat burglar is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's what makes a burglar a cat burglar, Matthew?
A cat burglar is more of a petty burglar kind of thing, or something like that.
I've always thought like a cat burglar is someone like climbs up and like enters from the roof or something.
I thought it was like they don't do like armed robbery. They sneak in and sneak out.
All right, so while I'm reading the story, one of you guys look up the definition of cat burglar because I'm curious about what it is. So in Connecticut, police are searching for a cat burglar who broke into a local hotel room and stole. What did he steal? Matthew, what did he steal? Cat burglar broke into a hotel room and stole what?
All of the soap.
That will be good because you gotta be cleanly. All right.
He raided the mini fridge.
Okay, there we go. Cameron.
All the toilet paper.
All right. All of those are great guesses, but completely wrong.
Pure evil.
He stole a cat. So the cat burglar.
I was going to say that.
The burglary
that's too
happened
obvious.
Sunday at the Hilton Garden Inn in Shelton, where someone broke into a room and stole the victim's hairless cat. So not only did they steal a cat, they stole a hairless cat.
Oh, I don't like hairless cats.
Yeah, they're
Neither
creepy,
do I.
man. That's so weird. And the hairless cat's name was Princess, That's weird.
I would have stole a hairless cat straight up.
The air just came on in here.
I'm
That's,
in here
that's
for
so
Jules.
weird.
I run into a hairless cat.
There you go. Police say a
All right.
Gucci bag
It's good to
and
know.
I mean, for real.
police say a Gucci bag and a Fendi bag were also taken during the break-in. Investigators say the value of the bags and the cat are estimated to be about $8,500. So a Gucci bag, a Fendi bag. I don't know what a Fendi bag is. I know Gucci because I am Gucci. So I know Gucci.
Gucci.
But I don't know Fendi. So if I'm Gucci, is Cameron Fendi? I don't know.
I'm whichever brand is more expensive.
All right. So out of the three, which was the most expensive? I'm going to say the cat.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because it's a hairless cat, and
Those cats are like
yeah. It's not like you go,
really expensive.
I'm just going to shave my cat. No, you got to buy a hairless cat. Although investigators say they have a photo of a possible suspect and the suspect's vehicle, as of Tuesday evening, the thief and the cat remained at large. All right, Matthew, what is the definition of a cat burglar?
A cat burglar is a particularly stealthy burglar, especially one who gains entry through the use undetected entry through the use of agility.
Yeah.
I stumbled a little bit there, but I
So
got it.
what?
I was right.
No, I was right.
No, I was right.
No, I was right.
No, I was right.
I think we can go back
I
on the
think
tape
he has that mushroom in
and
his
find
head.
out that I was right, because that's what
I think I
saying.
was right.
Being the neutral arbiter that I am, Dad was right on this one.
Yeah, you're not neutral. We know that. But you're right. I'm right. So there you go.
I am neutral.
No, you're biased.
I argue with everybody.
You're biased.
Well, he does argue with everyone.
That is true.
So why still a hairless cat though?
They are expensive.
I
said.
have no idea. That's so baffling.
I think it's the reason that Tim says, like,
For real though.
bro, there's a hairless cat. I'm going to take that too.
Yeah, dude.
I do. Well, maybe they just wanted to remove a witness.
I mean, how often do you run into
You're coming
somebody?
with me, princess.
Yeah.
How
You're not
often
gonna
do
be
you
able to
run into
identify
somebody that has a hairless cat?
I'm
Like, you know
my
what I'm
only
The
saying?
cat burglar's name was Bowser.
My
No
only
way.
thought would be like ransoming it or something, but like
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that could be. I didn't think about that. You can ransom it.
I mean, that's my first thought was
So,
ransoming the cat.
I kind of have a confession.
Ransoming is how you get caught, though.
My confession is not that I stole the cat, by the way. I do have a confession though. I've always kind of wanted a hairless cat.
Why?
I've even mentioned it to my wife, who said no.
Oh yeah,
Because we live in the woods and we get a lot of mice because we live in the woods.
Well,
and
what do you need a hairless cat for?
because
That?
she's allergic to cats. And so, and I know they have
Ah.
supposedly hyperallergy, you don't get allergic to the cats.
Oxenfree.
Yeah, exactly. I know they have those. I don't know how they make them. Are they engineered? Is there shampoo? I don't know how and cats that you're not allergic to. I don't know how they make those. Are they like born that way? I don't know. Everyone's looking at me. You've heard of them,
yeah,
right?
they're bred that way.
Are they bred that way?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like how most of the domesticated animals are.
pretty much.
So I mean,
They make Bengal cats too that are massive.
yeah,
Like,
no,
those
I-
those things are huge.
I don't need a big cat. I need a cat that my wife wouldn't be allergic to because she's allergic to cats. So hyperallergy. Any other day I could say that word. I absolutely.
Just not
could.
this day.
Is like, can anyone else-
Hypoallergenic.
allergenic?
Allergenic?
Hyperallergenic? Text line. What is that word? Allergy. All right, I'm stopping.
You speak for a living.
Yeah.
I speak on occasion.
Well, I was waiting for Matthew to correct us because he is the best spoken person in the room, and he's not saying anything.
It's hypoallergenic.
Hypoallergenic. Okay, I was close.
I stumbled for some
Yeah,
reason.
because
I
of
knew
me,
it, and I just
because of me, it's catching.
Oh, I should know that. I literally had to go to an allergist as a kid because I have really bad allergies. But yeah, that blanked on my.
Are you also
mind.
allergic to cats?
Yes, but not hair. So a hairless cat would not be.
it's saliva, isn't it?
It's saliva. Yeah.
So you can't be licked by a cat.
Well, also, you know,
Wait, I
cats,
am
they
curious.
clean themselves, so their hair
okay.
that's all floating around also has their saliva on it.
I'm,
I assume it's like a chemical in the saliva or
i-
something.
If,
But yeah.
if a cat licks you, what happens?
So
My cat
generally,
never
You just get a
with my
rash or something?
I've never been licked by a cat, so I don't
Okay.
know if that would
They
happen.
have
but
like really
generally-
coarse really coarse tongues.
They
It's
do.
like
Tested for
sandpaper.
science.
Generally, what happens with cats for me is my eyes will get extremely red and scratchy,
Okay.
and after longer exposure, my throat will start to close.
Yeah,
That's
up.
what happens to my mom.
Yeah, that's what happens to her. So I'm curious about that. All right, let's hit that theme.
Shall we play a game?
He wasn't sure.
I think I missed him.
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love to. How about global thermonuclear war?
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
You wanted to know what the Matrix is, Neo?
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
3 billion human lives ended. The survivors of the nuclear fire called the war Judgment Day. They lived only to face a new nightmare, the war against the machines.
All right, once again, my voice that cries out in the wilderness is not heard by enough people. So spread the message of Lonzo wherever you can. It's not religion. Don't even think that I'm going that way. I am trying to help you to see what's in front of your faces, what possibly some of you are using right now.
Would you consider that straight wisdom?
This is survival is what it is.
The cult of Lonzo.
Yeah, well, no.
The cult of Zoe.
No, which would be cooler sounding, but no. It has reached the point where it is in this building right now. It is in this building right now. I was disgusted, afraid, angry, so many emotions going through my mind.
Did you curl up into a ball?
When oh no. I will stand strong against the coming storm.
Okay.
I got an email from LexCorp. We all got an email from LexCorp.
I got this email.
Yes, we all got an email from LexCorp about something, and I'm gonna get to what this is. We have a service called Topic Pulse that it gathers the most hit on articles and things like that as far as across all platforms, as far as Twitch and Twitter and all that kind of stuff, and puts the articles in a place where you can find it, which is pretty cool. It's a good source for someone who's doing a talk show and even a show like this. Every other story in the science category was about this particular thing that we got an email sent to us from. Someone who shares an office with me was like, check this out. All this was written thanks to this program. Isn't this cool? And he knows that I wouldn't think it was cool, and it is not. There's several reasons why I don't think it's cool. It's called Chat GBT, and everyone supposedly is using this right now to the point where the thing keeps crashing because everyone's using it. You can ask it questions. It will write things, the artificial intelligence, and they'll call it will do a ton of things, and everyone's inviting it into their home. Everyone's using it. Now, I can do the usual, when it becomes sentient, you guys are in trouble, but I'm not going to go down that path because I don't feel like having that argument with Tim today. Even though Tim's wrong, I don't want to have this argument with him. Here's the problem. And I Googled this because I figured there would be articles. And so I Googled the perils of Chat GBT. And there are a ton of articles out there written already. And here's the thing. Humanity is going to get lazier than what it already is thanks to artificial intelligence like Chat GBT, because it will write an entire term paper for you. It will write things for interviews. It will help you with a ton of things. We'll write it out in such a way that it's better than what a lot of other people could write. So you're going to get a point to where people go, yeah, I don't need to write that. I can have this write it. There are also some professors wanting to find a way to watermark anything that comes from Chat GBT, because this is cheating waiting to happen. And people are probably already using it to cheat. But the main thing is it's going to do what a lot of other things have done and cause humanity to be even more lazy and dependent on artificial intelligence, when you become dependent on something and then suddenly someone takes that thing away, then there are a lot of people that are going to be lost because they don't know how to survive without that. And I'm not talking about people our age. I'm talking about the kids that are going to grow up with this to the degree we're already seeing this in a lot of ways. I'm trying not to get, it's not really political. I'm trying not to get too serious, except for we're all going to die if you guys keep doing this stuff. Like how most people can't write anymore, especially cursive. Cursive is being phased out.
That's funny.
There are a lot of things. It's not funny. It's sad.
Well, no, I just thought about it because I was streaming one night and I found a letter in the game that was written in cursive and I had to read it. And after I got done reading it, I was like, that's for those of you that can't read cursive.
Exactly. I know there are programs, AI programs and other programs where you can translate block letters into cursive. But if you don't know how to read it, what good does it do? It might as well be calligraphy.
I will say this.
Or Latin.
There's a lot of different utilities for AI or any sort of mathematical or tool intensive things that are great for mathematics and all that other stuff as far as figuring out problems and all that. And that's a great boon to humanity. I think this is a really bad idea. I mean, I get having an aid for your writing and all that stuff, but that really kills the soul of humanity to a degree.
It's also literally
I agree with that.
incapable of doing anything creative. AI art and AI writing, especially on artistic side of writing, is one of the most unethical things out there at the moment, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Because what is it doing? What is AI doing? It is taking an amalgamation of all of these different things, these different works from people, and it is splicing those things together without the artist's permission in any way, shape, or form, and it is producing something out. And this is especially egregious with the different monetized AI art programs that you've seen crop up over the last couple months. It is, I hate it vehemently. I absolutely despise it.
I don't even know what that means.
Finally.
Lots of venom.
Okay.
Someone who has come to our side. We need to take a break. We're going to continue on the other side because we have another story that you're just going to have to wait. You're just going to have to wait. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD.
Another thing about the AI art stuff,
Tim's going to look up vehement.
It means I really hate it.
I got that much. I just like
there's
it's I think it's another one of those. It's one of those terms that I think is more literary than it is spoken. I think.
Would you believe that I went through several creative writing classes and things
yes,
like that?
No, what I mean is there are words that you read a lot, but you don't hear someone say them. And then when you do, you're like, okay. Just like when someone says the weather is sultry. No, it's not. The weather being sultry bothers me.
And another thing, though, about the AI art and AI writing is that, as I hate it, but the one thing about
we get that you hate it.
Never replace human artists and human writers, because there is inherently nothing creative about AI art, because it can't take those different things. It can't process them in a way that understands and produces something new. It is solely splicing these things together.
It can't make something.
By the way, Rob Brown and I were having this discussion,
creative.
And what I pointed out was on Star Trek: The Next Generation, Data trying to paint, and because he's artificial intelligence trying to become human, and what a struggle it was for him to try to paint, because art comes from your soul, and if you don't have a soul, how can you put it on canvas? Or in this case, write a story. The stories that they're writing, I mean, I think the
other thing is from
creativity is an inherently sentient thing, and anything that isn't sentient cannot possess something like that, to our understanding of the way
it has to require a certain amount of feeling. You have to be able to feel, to be able to process that, to be able to provide the correct output for that.
Can is full, or it would have been it. I hit the corner.
Noob him.
Noob me.
We were getting too serious for a second.
Well, we're about to get real serious when we come back from break.
Bum, bum, bum.
How much time do we got?
Not much.
We're coming up on bottom of the hour.
We got a minute left in the break. or
Okay,
less.
I'll
Yes.
go take a bathroom break after that.
You can go if you want.
I'm staying.
Okay. I mean, I'm saying.
I want to do more talking. That's why I'm here.
We still have 2 more breaks, right? Yes, we
Talkity
do.
talk
We got,
talk.
20 seconds. Let me double check that. Yep, 2 more breaks.
This administration is doing everything it can to cripple the American economy.
Ow.
I was about to say, it kind of stopped around my generation.
What did?
Cursive.
Yeah, my
That's us,
because
dude.
I still had cursive, and my brother, who's 5 grade levels below me, was one of the last couple groups to go through.
Why does that make you laugh, Tim? That's me and you. We're Bill and Ted. Okay, that's us. We're gonna continue our philosophizing right now. All right, so we just finished talking about ChatGPT and what it's doing and what the end results of it may be. And are there some positive things that it's doing? Yes, of course, because a lot of things start out with positive intentions. The things AI related that are evil and nefarious, we're not going to hear about those until it's too late. And for everyone that comes up with something positive to do with this kind of stuff, there's probably more than likely someone out there.
By the way,
already
any
going,
of the news headlines that you hear about for warning you about AI, ChatGPT will be saying, no, it's all good.
No, it's not. No, it's not us. All right. So I gave Tim the nickname of T2 when he first came here, and he didn't know what that was, which is fine.
Yes, I did.
I don't believe you. I think he thought it was a negative thing, which it was not.
No,
It was
no,
not.
I remember. I thought it was R2D2 is what you were
No.
referring to.
All right, so T2 is Terminator 2, and we have a little bit of that in our AI intro. And one of those things, and Jurassic Park has talked about this. Some other movies have talked about this, about the fact that just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah, man.
When it comes to science. All right, Terminator 2 brought something that we had never seen visually, which is why it's one of my favorite. It is my favorite Terminator, because the Terminator was able to become molten and could fuse and go through things. It was liquid metal is what it was. And so you watch something like that and you think, yeah, but they'll never be able to do that. Well, guess what? They've done it.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, they have done it. The headline, robot turns itself to liquid to escape cage and then reforms just like a Terminator 2.
Oh, my God. Did they get video of this?
Yes.
Oh, my God. I got to see this.
Yeah, you can see it. It's official. We're living in the darkest timeline in which the Terminator may become reality. Researchers from America's Carnegie Mellon University and the Chinese University of Hong Kong have just created a new type of material that can mimic the power of the T-1000. To those people, no one said you couldn't. We said you shouldn't. But it turns out the little melty men might have the chance to save some lives with their newfound skills. So it's not all bad. Of course.
I was going to say,
Of
I can
course.
just immediately think of the medical uses for something like
By
that.
the way, you're right. And again, there are good intentions by a lot of things. But whenever there's something like this created, and you can see there's video of this thing becoming liquid, going outside of a cage, and then reforming.
It's also a very slow process, if you notice, because they do have a lot of speed up in the video. Almost looks kind of claymation.
It does to me, yes.
Yeah, it does have a lot of medical uses, but it's one of those things. If the question is ultimately, will this thing have more good uses or bad uses?
All right, senior author professor.
It's tech. People are going to use it for good, and others are going to use it for bad.
Senior author Professor Carmel Majid explained the science behind the shape-shifting robot, revealing that magnetic particles come into play in 2 ways to facilitate the liquidation. One is that they make the material responsive to an alternating magnetic field, so you can, through induction, heat up the material and cause the phase change. She said, let's see, but the magnetic particles also give the robots mobility, and the ability to move in response to the magnetic field. She added, future work should further explore how these robots could be used within a biomedical context. Okay, so
it looks like solder. Almost.
It very much looks like solder.
It resembles solder.
It does. All right. Here's why they say they did it is they can send it like into your body supposedly and have it go find like, I don't know, something and eliminate that and then come back out your body. I don't know if that's
I don't think I would want that.
I don't know if that's through incision or through an orifice that already exists. I don't know. But that's what they say. So ChatGPT, and now we have liquid metal.
It almost looks like a T1000 Lego in the
yeah, it
video.
does. So here's the thing. There are, like a lot of things, there are a lot of parts. There's something over here that people are embracing. There's something over here that people are embracing. And then suddenly someone goes, you know what? Just like Reese's peanut butter cups, what if we mix our chocolate and our peanut butter? When we do that, we're in trouble. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to get into the sentience and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be self-aware for someone else to use that to take people and other things out. All it takes is a supposed mad scientist who just goes by the name of government to do something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Trey, on the stream, let me ask you again. Do not spoil Royal Rumble, which is going on right now. I don't want to know.
I feel like he pulled a Kofi Kingston trying to avoid spoilers.
Yeah, but still you're talking about how he just did something spectacular, which means he pulled it off this year. I know he's going to do. I don't want to know. Wayne says, give me your 3D printer and your motorcycle.
Say it better.
Yes.
Give me your 3D printer and your motorcycle.
There we go. That's much better. Trey says, about 8 years ago, I tried to help my younger cousin with his paper. I looked at his handwriting and told him that he had the worst cursive that I've ever seen. He asked, what's that? He just had really bad handwriting skills. Then I found out that they didn't teach cursive anymore. No, they stopped doing that.
Yeah,
they stopped teaching it.
My wife's a teacher. I remember when they stopped. She came home and was all upset about it.
Was he studying to become a doctor or an engineer?
If so, then,
journalists also have notoriously horrible handwriting.
Do they?
Yeah.
Huh.
So there you go. There's our AI takeover for the week. And you may think this is a work. Lonzo just gets really upset about these things. I'm legitimately, there's a portion of me that it's afraid of a lot of this, because I do believe if you combine some of these things, it can be pretty bad. And stop watching sci-fi films and go, can I do that? Just stop it. I know we got some cool things from that. I know that's how we got the cell phone and Tang. Never had Tang, but I hear it's kind of tasty. And
I was going to say the drink
and thin TVs. Yes. Tang was created for astronauts.
Yeah, I knew that actually.
Yeah, Tang was created for astronauts.
I wouldn't say that I'm afraid of it.
Well, Tang?
No, like of AI.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because me personally, this is a personal thing. I'm a religious person. I don't believe that God would allow us to do something like that.
By the way, I'm not talking about the sentience.
It's also free will.
Yeah, there is free will.
Screw ourselves up.
That's true.
There is free will, which is where nuclear bombs came from.
Well, yeah, no, and I agree with that.
And this could be the equivalent of that. But on a smaller scale, and to the point where we don't need a government agent. We'll just send a robot that can melt through a wall, come in, kill something, melt back out, and leave.
Well, attacking a country.
You know what you have to be? You know what you have to be? You don't have to be human sized to do that.
Well, attacking a country and destroying ourselves is two different things.
There could be an army of gingerbread sized things come through your window or meld through your screen. I'm talking about the screen that you put in the window in the summer.
That thing, all I need is a good.
All they'd have to do is just like go up your nose and then lobotomize.
If it's that thing, all I would need is a can of hairspray and a lighter.
Yeah, and you could possibly burn your house down now.
No, I'm pretty good with
Oh,
fire.
you're that accurate? Okay. All right. While we discuss
Had years of practice.
Back from Tim over
While
here.
we discuss Pyromania, we are going to take a break. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. Pyromania, it's my favorite Def Leppard album. Arson, anyone? Yes. I'm skilled. Tim doesn't need pest control. He's got a lighter and some hairspray.
Yeah, man.
Good.
Come back with Roundtable.
Man.
Yay, scattered rain showers. Love those. Those are awesome.
I'm at the tail end of it.
Wow. Yeah, it hangs on, by the way. This is the best my voice has been for 2 weeks.
At the tail end of it. It's
I
coming
feel
out
that.
now. All week, it's just been backed up, man.
Viper Dave 1125 says, in my original hometown of Birmingham, New York, Birminghamton. You know what? I need my glasses on too. Binghamton, New York. A Foot Locker employee set fire in a stockroom that way in the mall.
Trying to kill a spider.
Dude. Dude, I got this.
What? No way. That's crazy.
Oh, I believe it. I absolutely believe it. Not everyone's as skilled as you are with that, Tim.
Yeah. I was a terrible kid. I'm just gonna let y'all know that right now.
But he's since reformed.
I have reformed.
You're now a productive member of society.
As far as we know. He's
I
reformed.
wasn't terrible. I was just mischievous. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, one person's mischievous and the other person's delinquent. I mean, it just depends on perspective.
Or
I suppose.
felon.
Yeah, or that.
It's a point of view.
Did you have to go to a special school after a while? I'm just curious.
No.
Okay.
No, I was
There.
never
Did,
like that.
did they have really tall fences?
I should have been.
You know, I had a mischievous streak, and that
Yeah,
ended up in
barbed
a
wire.
whole solar system that was destroyed.
Yeah, it happens.
Gotta say,
Good at not getting caught.
giant space narwhals, they can eat planets.
I don't know what the statute of limitations are, so you just need to be quiet. That's all I'm saying.
Don't matter anymore. I don't do any of that stuff.
Dude, yeah.
Statute of
You-
limitations.
That's how that works. Is you did do it. So if you did something you could get in trouble for,
I can't get in trouble for it now.
Yes.
Yes, you
that's-
absolutely can.
depending on what statute of limitations are.
Don't
That's why I
test
said that.
this. Don't test this, man.
By the way, we have no idea what he's.
We're
what
trying to
he's
help
talking
you
about.
to not talk
Yeah.
about things that could incriminate
I wasn't
yourself.
going to talk about it.
Okay, you seem like you're towing that line.
Y'all are still talking about
No,
it.
because you're saying, hey, I was guilty once, but not anymore. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I just
I was underage.
look at me, but don't look at me.
Coming from somebody who reports on a lot of underage kids getting arrested. No.
Mm.
By the way, you know those old. Some of you may know these. Those old pictures of pugilists. How they do their arms. I can't do that.
Well, you can't.
of
you
what?
can't curl up your
A pugilist.
A pugilist.
Yeah,
pugilist.
You know what a
Yeah.
pugilist is, right?
No.
Fist
You-
fighters.
You're the only one in the room who doesn't know what a pugilist is.
A fist fighter? Is that what a
Yeah.
Pugilist.
Yeah.
Yeah, pugilist.
I would give you an example of
like
pugilist.
a boxer?
Watch the movie Young Guns.
Okay.
Or Sherlock.
Yeah, pugilist.
Sherlock Holmes actually has pugilism. In
So
there.
so when
okay. I know what you're talking
they,
about
they
now. Okay.
they curl their fists
this.
back like this.
Yes.
This. Yeah.
Yes.
That hurts me for some reason. I don't know why. I just
I got oh
Maybe it's
brother,
'cause
where
I'm-
art thou?
oh, okay, I never
That
watched
movie.
that, but
Yeah.
because it was a little too
I'm
close.
a Dapper Dan man.
It's a little
that
too
guy.
little too close to home for me. I could just go hang out with my cousins. So So no. All right, nerd roundtable time. Before we get into the hard-hitting question,
some good gauntlets.
Gauntlets of the pugilist. Yes,
I think that's a Skyrim
no,
reference.
it is. It is one. And I'm tempted to. Our buddy Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show has been doing a playthrough where he's just using fists, and I told him something about that. He needs to get that. So
I did that in Oblivion once as an Argonian, and it was one of the most satisfying playthroughs I ever had.
Oh, I bet.
I beat some Mage Remora to death. It's just like immediately, it's like I was not expecting that lizard to just beat everyone to death.
Yes. So let's talk some video games really quick in the Nerd Roundtable. So the big news for a couple of weeks now was that GoldenEye had been remastered to a degree and put out on all consoles, and including Game Pass. And I have to admit, I've talked to some people around the building who were really into GoldenEye when it came out. I had never played it. And because if I recall, I think it was a Nintendo exclusive. I could be wrong, but
it was on N64, I believe.
Yeah, which I didn't have. So I was more of, I don't know, during that time, was it more of Sega? Was it Sega that time?
It was Sega Genesis.
Yeah, I was more Sega.
Sega.
Yes, exactly. And then it got more into Xbox and PlayStation and all that kind of stuff. But I never played this game, but I downloaded it today. It's a very small game. And still looks better than Minecraft. I'm gonna put that out because if you like Minecraft, I just don't get it. It's just I can't handle the blocks.
I can't do Minecraft.
Yeah, I just can't.
I can't even watch my son play it. I can't stand that game.
This is blocky, but you got to remember when you play an
Minecraft is just a style.
It is
just a visual style.
It's an artistic style that I don't like. So, and that's just certain styles are not.
I mean,
for
if you
everybody.
do like it though, I mean yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's anything wrong
for you, and I want you to enjoy yourself.
Yes, have fun with it.
I like Minecraft.
And I think
so do I.
Again, don't take it negatively. I've had
Minecraft.
I've had this conversation with Chris Evans on the show before. When I say I didn't like playing a game because of art style, and we had a discussion about what art was, and his wife, who's an artist, was on my side because art is it's up to each individual what you consider art to be.
I agree.
And there are certain,
that's up for every man to decide.
Yes. There's certain kind of cell shading that I just don't like. So if I'm going through Game Pass and I'm like, okay.
So the reason why you didn't like Borderlands.
Yeah, it is.
The game.
You don't like Borderlands?
I don't like the art.
I didn't like it that much either.
I didn't like the art.
I mean, you know what? Fair enough. We're all entitled to our own opinions, even if they are objectively wrong.
Okay.
By the way, we also just want to mention this. We also interviewed Mr. Torg, who's from that game.
We did right here on this very program.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I don't like certain kinds of art. And the thing is, when you play a game, you want it to be something. Depending on what it is, if it's competitive, you want to compete against people. But if it's something that you want to be immersed in. I think you need a certain kind of realism, but we all like some together. There's probably some styles that we all like.
I disagree. You don't need realism specifically to get immersed in something.
Well, it depends on the game.
Have you ever found yourself getting immersed into an older
by the way,
RPG
Matthew,
or anything like that before?
Matthew, you don't need that. Okay, that's what I'm saying. There's an individuality to.
That's the reason I didn't like Valhalla.
There's an individuality to. I love that game. But there's an individuality to games, and games are today's art. They are. So it's like going and looking at Van Gogh and going, dude, or Van Gogh, according to Doctor Who. You look at it and go,
and Bill Nye.
Yeah, I don't like that. And then you go look at Mona Lisa and go, yeah, I like that. That's my style. So I mean, video games are the same way. I don't think you're wrong for thinking I don't like this because of this.
Maybe
you know why? Because the game's not for me. But it is for you.
Maybe to a degree. Matthew and I can envision ourselves in the cartoons.
Say that they don't like something personally to them. I just took issue with the way that you phrased it, making it sound like that was an objective thing, the way that you were saying it.
It's also because he's a radio host, so he knows how to get a rise out of people.
Yeah, there is that. Or just naturally, I make people mad. But no, it really comes down to it's an individual thing. So GoldenEye is on the edge of it's back when they were just starting to get a little more realism into games. So you can look at the characters and go, okay, that kind of looks like the character of the movie. And even though I haven't played the game,
just like you went, oh, that's Sean Bean.
Yeah, it's Sean Bean. Of course. It's like, hello, you're going to die. Not really. You're going to pretend to be dead because I've seen the movie. So I know. I'm waiting to see On the Top and see how she looks blocky. Famke Jameson, I think is her name. She was she played X-Men. Jean Grey. She's in this movie and in this game because it starts out. GoldenEye starts out like it's a movie with all the character names and all that kind of stuff. And it's really cool. So it is one of the first person shooter kind of games that
it's the progenitor.
That's a good word that people played a lot. Multiplayer. So I haven't had a chance to play it multiplayer. I played it single player, failed at one mission because I didn't entirely understand it. There are no.
I was supposed to do what?
There's no mini map. And so you've got to remember where you are in places. And I am Zorro.
What, you gotta have the mini map?
No, I am Zorro though.
Oh, okay.
I am absolutely
He is Zorro.
I am Zorro. I can get lost in a video game anywhere, except in Skyrim. I know that like the back of my hand. So
that's new.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an age spot, man. I'm old. So anyway, if you haven't played a game, try this game out. So I have fun playing it, but I can't wait to play somebody else. I don't know how many people you can play at one time.
I know at least 4.
Yeah. So it is a multiplayer.
Hey, let's do it.
So at some point, I thought about calling Tim today and see if you want to jump in there. I don't know if it's cross-platform. I don't think it is though.
Which platform is
the
it?
Pulse Battle Royale.
It's on all
Who
platforms.
will come out on top?
You don't know if you could play.
Yeah, I don't know if you can cross-platform.
Well, I have Xbox A.
Yeah, I know.
You guys got to do a double OP.
But it does work in Game Pass. So that's what I did. It's a very small file. It's like it downloaded like in a couple minutes. So anyway, if you guys want to check it out really quick, what are you guys playing? Tim, what are you playing?
I'm replaying Last of Us and Call of Duty.
Matthew, what you playing?
Been playing and running tournaments a ton for Pokemon recently.
Cameron, what are you playing?
I am playing Monster Hunter Rise, which just recently dropped on Game Pass, and enjoying playing as Pappy, making boots out of all the monsters he finds.
Okay. I am playing Skyrim still, and also Dragon Ball Dokkan, which there's a world tournament going on this weekend, which is always fun playing against other people and whipping that booty.
You know what? I miss Budokai 3.
Yeah,
I really miss that game.
Taichi 3, I played so much as a kid.
Same.
Yeah,
Budokai 3 was my favorite.
I'm pretty sure
I will bring
have
it in if y'all ask.
No, I think I have. I have a couple Dragon Ball games in there. In the
you got
nerd
Budokai
office.
3. I will play that.
I can't. I do have it, but I don't know if it's in here or not. I think a couple of them are. We'll have to check it out after the show or during the week. All right, we need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to hit the lightning round, get to as many things as we possibly can. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. No, we're not going to get to fight because that is scrap. Although we can do it right now.
I mean, would you like to die on that hill now or later?
When you pick, when you say that's not, this is my hill to die on. I believe that you're not on top of the hill. I think you're dying on your way up the hill, because if you're on the hill, you've got the high ground, and you're not going to die on top of the hill unless there's a mountain behind you or something coming out of the sky.
And my thought process is, are you saying this as you're going up the hill, saying this is your hill to die on, or where exactly is this going to be?
That's the whole question. That's the whole point. I was thinking, that's my hill to die on.
I think you get a grace period. You declare it, and then you die on the hill.
If you say that's my hill to die on your way up the hill, I think you die.
Okay, now the other question. Okay, so you're identifying the hill next to you. That's the thing you're going to die on, or you're going to stay
the other hill with the camera.
It could be a hill in the distance. When you say that's my hill to die on, you're walking up. There's a guy up there with a sniper gun, and you're done.
Where'd the sniper guy come from?
Headshot Tim
on the hill.
Oh God,
he's up on the hill. I mean, or it's a dude up there with a spear. It depends on what kind of game you're playing, or in real life, it's just some guy up there with a rock. Okay, a really big rock. You're climbing up the hill. You don't see the guy with the rock. You die.
Physic?
Exactly, Mark. That was my argument. And that's the exact argument I have with Cameron.
Oh, so you're not invulnerable when you're on the high ground?
You are if you're king of the real rock.
Didn't work out for him, did it?
Yeah, he died. But he was really short. He was really short. He was shorter than a hobbit.
So you're saying that your height will help you?
Yes, your height will help you. If a giant's climbing up that hill and you're a Woro on top of the hill, you're gonna die.
Didn't help Anakin much.
That's
He was tall.
that's what we were just talking about.
Also, Anakin didn't guard correctly as he was flying over him.
He didn't.
Also, that move, bad idea.
Yeah, well, he was, Obi-Wan told him he was being
underestimate
he was but he was being
my power.
he was being arrogant, and he was blinded by the dark side and refused to listen to his teacher. Some of us in this room have been in pure rage before, and yeah, I think clearer when I'm in rage. Though I'm the opposite. If I get really mad, I get really focused.
Not me. I'm exactly like that.
Sometimes that's the only way to get me through a situation that I'm scared to death of, is to get really mad. To the point before football games, people would come up and do stuff to tick me off before the thing, including someone having the girl I was taking the homecoming dance. He walked up and had her ring on. Man, I had a good game that game.
It takes a lot to get me mad. Like, I'll get annoyed, but that's really minor overall. But like actually getting me mad, that takes a lot.
I'm making better life choices, so I'm not going to talk about this.
Usually when you say it's hard to get me mad is when people try to get you mad. So I'm just going to say, I'm like Bruce Banner. I'm more controlled, but I'm always angry about something.
Yes.
So, I mean,
so he's in there.
As you get older, you mellow out, or you get better at masking it.
Lightning can only strike twice so many times.
It's still getting me every time. I know it's getting you.
Oh, I love it.
I didn't say I didn't like it. Stinking Lars.
Screw you, Lars.
I want to go home and learn this right now.
All right, time for lightning round, where I squeeze in as many stories as I possibly can in the limited time that we have left in the program. First thing, Titans and Doom Patrol have been canceled. And Doom Patrol, I'm okay with it being canceled because it's so weird, man. It's probably the weirdest show I've ever watched. But Titans, I hate to see Nightwing not being on TV. That just bothers me, because he's still my favorite superhero. And he's like, Titans are now the Justice League. And so I cannot wait to talk to Rob Young about this. Because in the comics right now, the Justice League is disbanded, and Titans are now the group, led by Dick Grayson and Nightwing. So those shows are no more. I know Cameron watches at least Titans.
Yeah.
Are you upset about Titans being gone?
I am, but it's one of those things if I can live with it.
It got like, what, 5 or 6 seasons, too? So
Only
it's
4.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
This last season
Does it end on a cliffhanger?
Well, they did that mid-season thing, so we're not done with the 4th season yet.
Oh, okay, so they won't end it on a cliffhanger.
I doubt it. They have like 6 episodes left for Titans and for Doom Patrol. Not sure when they're coming back. Probably in the spring is how they like to do things. All right. Many fireball bottles are under fire. I don't drink, so I don't know about Fireball.
It's gross.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess some guys. A woman has taken a.
I think it's for woo girls.
My
wife poured it in my eye one time, and it was terrible.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. You may have deserved it, though.
No.
A woman has taken the Cesaric company to court over what she claims is misleading packaging. Anna Marquez filed the lawsuit in Illinois after discovering many bottles of Fireball cinnamon whiskey don't in fact contain any whiskey. So they're selling many bottles of whiskey without whiskey in them.
Yeah, right next to the Colt 45, man.
The many 3.4 ounce bottles of Fireball cinnamon are sold in stores that aren't licensed to sell liquor, and the labels are almost identical to the alcoholic versions, despite one beverage containing whiskey and one not. So she's seeking $5 million because she can't read a label. That's really what it comes down to. And unfortunately, because of our judicial system, she'll get $5 million because she can't read a label.
If the label clearly says, then it'll get thrown out.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that the bottle looks like the other bottle, and if
it
it's a
might
mini
look
bottle,
like it, but if there is anywhere on that bottle that specifically says about the alcohol content, then it will get thrown out.
If it's a mini bottle and the print is very small, I bet she gets paid. I hope you're right. I don't think she should get paid. But
maybe it's Opastin.
I'm being skeptical because of
cynicism.
Seeing other things. Yes. No, that's just being realistic.
Yeah.
With the way, I mean, someone got paid a bunch of money because they spilled coffee on their.
Yeah.
I would not.
Yeah.
I don't want to harp on that. I know I've read the full story on that, and that is it. She does not need to be harped on.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, speaking of McDonald's and stuff, a good Samaritan is being praised after sharing his experience at McDonald's drive-through.
Drive-through.
It depends on, some of them have like 3
drive-throughs.
Yeah. Josiah Vargas claims he was picking up his breakfast order when he realized that the employee at the window had given him more than he ordered. So what they did is they gave him a bag of money. It had $5,000 in it. All right, so he took it back in and they gave him the money. He left and they came back out and gave him $200 as a reward. My question is here.
How?
No. My question is here. What were they really trying to pay for? So they give someone $5,000 in a McDonald's bag.
On accident?
No, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
What was $5,000 doing in a McDonald's bag?
I mean, for real.
No, that was
Were
a
they-
drug deal.
what were they trying-
That had to be a drug deal gone wrong or something. You don't.
Yeah, but that's like an organized crime
Or it
type
could
of
be
drug
that.
deal.
It could be protection. I don't know, but they're giving him his breakfast sandwich and also gave him a McDonald's bag with $5,000 in it. What I'm saying is,
I'd have taken it.
if you're going to give that,
Here's your McGriddle and your protection money. Please leave us alone.
yeah,
I might not have taken it, but I would have definitely sat there and thought about it for a minute.
tell Big Louie, we good.
It's one of those things of
Do you guys not see what I'm saying?
No,
They
no,
handed
I
a bag
understand.
out with $5,000 in it and said, "Oh, our bad." There's no one questioning why they were.
I mean, no, I agree.
Why do you have
that was the first thing I said is why or how is there $5,000 in the McDonald's
Yeah,
bag?
why the heck you got $5,000 in a McDonald's bag? I'd be investigating that McDonald's because something going on there.
That's one of the shady McDonald's, and that's saying something.
Absolutely. And you're doing it through the drive-through, which I guess is the best way. Maybe money laundering or what. You can do it through because if they're cameras, all they're seeing is there's a McDonald's bag. You're handing the person the
Welcome
order.
to the fast food money laundering.
Yeah, I would
service.
say something like that. Money laundering or just
Well,
some
it's the
kind
McDonald's.
of organized
How can we
crime.
launder your money
thing.
today?
Yes, exactly. All right.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, we love crime.
Have you guys seen the new Shazam 2 trailer?
No.
You got to watch it because what it does, it actually defines. The first trailer didn't really tell you who the bad guys were and what they're doing. This one does. And maybe tells you too much. We know trailers lie now, and they should. Trailers should lie to a certain degree because some people want to spoil an entire movie in a trailer, and they don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to Shazam 2. It's been a long time since the last one. And how do those kids not really age? I don't get that. The kids who played the Shazam family.
Maybe they shot all their parts early.
I guess maybe.
Well, I would imagine that the filming happened probably roughly a year ago for the most part. So.
Yeah. All right. By the way, thanks to everybody for being on the show and participating. And thanks to Tim and Matthew and Cameron. And I especially want to thank me because without me, there would be no me.
Thank you,
And,
Lonzo.
Yes. And finally, if you are someone who is a stargazer, someone who likes to look up at the sky, there's a special thing happening tonight. The moon will eclipse Uranus. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, the hot coffee story though, I didn't want to take up the entire rest of the show to talk about it, but like it's a very older woman, and that coffee was unregulated levels of hot.
Oh, okay.
Like it scarring second and third degree burns kinds of hot.
Okay, then she deserved the payout.
All right, Tim, say goodbye.
But the thing was, she never wanted a payout.
Tim.
Matthew, say goodbye.
Goodbye, y'all.
Cameron, say goodbye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks everybody, and see you next week. Radio D&D.